Hello everyone, this is Garrett and this is Serious Sam, the second encounter. And we are in the courtyards of Gilgamesh. And that means that there is a lot of unhappiness. Basically, this level is kind of hard. This level is actually really hard in my opinion. There's just a lot of really quite tedious things to look out for in this level. And man, these bubbles are getting to me today. You know what? Fine. I'll just use the shooty gun. Where is he? He's over there. I know he is. There he is. He's really hard to see, but if you aim at the right spot, your crosshair turns a different color, and that means good things. And I'm not hitting it at all for some reason with my minigun, but if I aim at the exact same location with my sniper rifle, it does work, so I'm not going to question it. So, first of all, there is a secret heart over here. I'll pick that up later because my health is looking pretty good right now. I just shot a door, but that's fine. Doors are evil too sometimes. And our goal right now is to pick up the winged lion over there to continue on to the next courtyard. Because there's a winged lion. That's a lion right there. It's wearing a mask. And what we could do is we could just rocket jump like this and whoop, we're there. But, you know, that wouldn't be fair. That would almost be cheating or something. And therefore, we're just going to go on forwards instead. And pretend we don't have that option. And I'm mostly doing that for the sake of there being like 15 secrets at the start of this level. And they're all roughly over here. And more importantly, this level is just rather nasty when it comes to enemies. Because this level does two things quite well, which is enemies which are really far away. And therefore quite hard to see. And they just shoot at you with green balls or red ones or whatever. And they're just really far away, so it's kind of tedious. And trees, it's also quite good at. It's actually quite good at using trees to conceal enemies. And it's a problem, but oh well. I'm just gonna swim to this left pool over here. And go into the only option we have, because all the other options are graded shut. But there's a secret ammo pack over here. And yeah, everything else is shut down. I think in the HD remake, you can actually swim through that one. Like, I don't think there's a grate in front of it, but I might be wrong. So you can just swim through either hole in that one. But in this one, we do actually need to swim through this particular hole to continue onwards to the level. But before I do that, there's another ammo pack. For some reason, this is also a secret one. Not entirely sure why, but it just happens to be that way. And there is one possible way you can choose which leads to this room, which is the room where we want to go, because it has armor. And it also has more routes. So in the HD remake, I think you can swim through that one, and there's just not a grate in front of it, and everything will be cool. But in this version, we can't, and we just swim to this particular area. And it's one of the reasons why I didn't really mind taking that much damage, because there's just another 100 health power-up right there. And there's actually quite a lot of those in this level, which is good, because there's actually some really difficult battles, in my opinion. This has probably some of the most ammo-intensive battles pretty much in the entire game, I think. This is a level where it's very easy to die, and I'm personally quite a bit worried that I will, but we'll see what happens, I suppose. So you can actually swim further forwards, and there's another ammo pack down there, but our ammo is looking pretty good, so I'm not really going to worry about that right now, because we're going to find more ammo packs anyway. And more importantly, if we turn around once we get out of the wall, is that there's a bullseye over there. And we can shoot at it with any gun we want, and it opens up the secret room. And the secret room is really cool because it has an invulnerability power-up. And invulnerability in this game is really good, because not taking damage is actually really quite useful. Which is why I'm going quite a bit forward to spawn everything at once, and then go to this very obvious dark patch in the wall, which has the don't push detonator. And it's called the don't push detonator because it only spawns this guy, and I don't think it actually does anything else. But since we still have the double damage power up, we can very easily take care of it. That gray patch is actually really difficult to see in the HD remake for some reason. I'm not actually sure why, but it's definitely there. If you just shoot in the same location, then it'll work. So if you can't see it, then just sort of shoot at that wall for a while and you should be able to get it without too much trouble. Now, picking up this rocket spawns secret mutated plant and friends. The friends are not so bad. The mutated plant shoots rockets, so take care of that before it gets scary. and continue downwards where there is a laser gun, which we want.
Now I got your ticket to hell.
Because it's their ticket to hell, and pulling that lever makes it possible for us to get to places without having to rocket jump to them. And that makes me quite happy, personally. It does, however, also make me a little bit unhappy, because it means we have to go forward in this level. And there's like three places, I think, in this level where it's very easy to take a lot of damage without really being able to do much to not take damage. It's kind of unfortunate, really, but oh well. Kill that guy with a cannon, spawn those guys, and use this serious damage power up to kill everything immediately afterwards. I think there's one over there as well. It was the wrong one. I guessed wrong. I'm pretty sure there is one over there, but I might be mistaken. Huh, I guess I am wrong. But oh well, it's fine. Everything dies, and we still have our damage power up. And we can now happily go back in this direction. This door is not open until you actually grab the thing, or pull the lever rather, which is good to know. Otherwise, you might be stuck in front of that door for a while and not do anything, and it wouldn't really get you very far. And it would be a bit silly to stand in front of a closed door for a long period of time, so I would recommend against doing that. And more examples of trees not being in nice locations when it comes to trying to see anything. And that takes care of that. I'm just gonna grab this laser gun ammo. I don't think we really need it, because I'm pretty sure there's gonna be like 15 more backpacks coming up anyway. But I like to be safe, because ammo is something we'll be using up a lot in this level. There's a lot of big battles waiting for us, and being prepared is good. Gotta be ready for what seems to be impossible. Another tree blocking another green dude. But we have lasers, and lasers kill everything. And that's why everything's fine. Now, picking up the golden winged lion thing, of course, spawns stuff. I don't remember where it is. There's one. I'm pretty sure there's a second one somewhere as well. But as long as you can find them, then it's not too scary, fortunately. This start area is just really just a matter of finding all the enemies rather than actually taking care of them. Like, the taking care of them part is not that hard, but actually seeing where they are, that's just the main difficulty. And we've taken care of pretty much everything here, so let's grab this heart and turn around, because there's a biomechanoid spawning. And he's generally quite good at, like, when he spawns on top of that thing, but he'll just jump down by taking one step forward, and then when he dies, his rocket very often shoots in this direction, and it pretty much lands exactly where you're standing if you just keep running forward. It's actually quite impressive how it manages to do that pretty much every time, but this time he decided not to do so. So we can just move forward instead and grab some grenades. Now, I'll grab that grenade launcher in a second. I forget about that guy every single time. I kind of just want to kill everything here just to get it out of the way, in case I want to run here for some particular reason. And now I feel just a little bit safer, really. But picking up the grenade launcher opens this wall with a bunch of stuff behind it, and that can be a little bit scary, because it's very possible to hit those guys with a grenade, and it actually hurts quite a lot to shoot yourself. Well, shoot an enemy that close with a grenade. It's rather unfortunate. Now, if you move forward, there's some lamps over there. Don't go there. On the one hand, it's like nice to use the chainsaw here, but on the other hand, if you stand over here and use a chainsaw, you'll hit the lamp. And when you're hitting a lamp with a chainsaw, you can't hit enemies with it. So you'll just be getting pummeled to death by enemies while you're just sort of hitting a lamp, really. It's not the most effective thing. Now, there's chainsaw dudes here, but they are easily just taken care of. And this health is special, because I honestly don't recommend picking it up. Because you'll pick it up, and the moment we move slightly further forward than where we are now, this grading will go down. You can actually jump, and you won't be in as much trouble. But sadly, I kind of want to show off what happens.
Lift, boy. This isn't my floor.
Which is pretty much the main reason why I wouldn't recommend doing this, because it's so hard to see anything in this version. In the HD remake, fog is a lot less thick, I think. It's either way, it's just a lot easier to see things in areas which are really, really foggy in this version of the game. And in that version, it's not so bad, but in this version, stuff's you just have to kind of go with your crosshair on this one. Crosshairs and sounds are your main way of not dying. And then just sort of stand in the middle here for a while stuff spawns and jumps at you. But we have a flamethrower and it kills everything in the game. But sometimes we do take damage. And eventually at the end, it ends with a single chainsaw dude who spawned right in our face, but he died anyway. Now if we stand over here, the ceiling will come very close towards us, and you will actually just instantly die the moment the grate and that part of the floor touches. So I would recommend against doing that. And after that recommendation, I can now move on forward, kill that guy who is pretty scary, pretty spooky. And you can already hear the clear skeleton on this side of the wall. I think I might be able to just sort of poke it. I hope that one died, and otherwise I'm going to be sad. It's somewhere out there. There it is. The moment it instantly explodes, you know you got it. But yeah, 2 clear skeletons waiting for us as well, and we can now pick up this ammo pack knowing that we haven't wasted much of the ammo. So here is part number 1 of places where it's really easy to die for stupid reasons. There's spikes on the end of this, and most of the time when you slide down here, you can just mash the jump button and you'll make it just fine. And every now and then, you'll slide down and just hit the wall and die, and I honestly don't know a good way. Sometimes I just jump here and then it seems to be a little bit faster, but yeah, sometimes that doesn't work and you just sort of land in spikes. And yeah, so let's run back a bit. Let's change our pace or something. I don't know. Just yep, there we go. I managed to jump off of the little edge over there. I don't know how that place works. I genuinely don't know. But it sometimes kills me and sometimes it doesn't. And honestly, I just hope. I don't know how that particular jump works. Most of the time, you won't even jump, but you'll land on this anyway. And if you don't mash the jump button, you'll still fall down. But if you do mash it, then you'll jump off the edge in a weird way, and you'll barely survive. I don't know, but whatever. We got past it. We died like 15 times, but whatever. And it leads us to this long corridor. This corridor is not as scary in the HD remakes for a reason I will explain in a minute. But first, I'm going to use some grenades. And with some grenades, I basically mean all of them. A small problem with this place and using grenades is that every now and then an enemy will get really close. And there's a good chance you'll just lob a whole bunch of grenades into their corpse. And like that bull over there, he takes an extra grenade compared to literally every other enemy that's coming across this place. And it's very easy to then just keep hitting his corpse instead of the actual enemies you're trying to hit. And it's a problem because your grenades hurt quite a lot. And if you can't see the corpses, then oh god, it's not fun. It's not fun at all. And you can lose a lot of health here without really wanting to. And you kind of want to have health for the area that's coming up. But before we do that, we're gonna switch to the HD remake. Because there's a whole bunch of little bricks sticking out in the wall over here. And they're kind of hard to see, but if you just immediately look to your left at the start of this hallway, you can just jump up the first one and then make your way all the way to the little health power-up that's waiting for us slightly further on by just jumping to brick to brick. You can actually jump on the lanterns as well, but I think it's a little bit trickier than actually using the bricks. A thing to keep in mind, though, is that you kind of want to stay away from the walls because sometimes you'll hit the wall in a weird way and you won't gain any height and you'll just fall down. But fortunately, you can just jump back up again and you won't really have any issues with it. Sadly, that secret's not in this version, but we have over 100 health anyway, so it doesn't really matter all that much. However, if we move forward, it starts spawning stuff, and that stuff tries to kill us. But fortunately, there's an armor here, and that makes us a little bit more healthy. And there's some ammo waiting for us as well, after we kill that guy. I hope you guys saw him. He was very much here indeed. And as you can probably guess from these 4 ammo packs lying here, stuff's about to go down. And that leads us to area number 2, where it's quite easy to die for stupid reasons. But first, we move into the dark patch and then run back again. Because those spikes are rather, well, very inconspicuous. They're a bit suspicious at the same time. And if you're not fast enough, it'll just go in your face immediately again. So try to walk forward the moment it goes back again. So this place is great, it's cool, it's fantastic. Pretty much the best strategy probably is to just jump down and then immediately rocket jump back up to this platform again. Because once you jump down, it starts spawning enemies. And if you just rocket jump back on the platform, then pretty much nothing will be able to hit you, and it's probably the safest way of doing this place. It's just not very interesting, which is why I'm doing it the more stupid way. I can only call it a stupid way because it's really not a good idea at all. There is no reason to do this. And the thing which I really... The thing why I'm calling this a place where it's very easy to take a lot of damage or just die completely without really being able to do anything against it in your first playthrough is because of the floor just collapsing. And it does that a couple times. And each time it leads you to a different floor with various enemies waiting for you already. And some of those will just destroy you. You stand next to them and you'll just get crushed. And there's just nothing you can do about it because, well, how are you supposed to know there's an enemy right underneath you? You can't see anything, so you just have to sort of believe in yourself, I suppose. It's probably one of the harder levels because of stupid stuff like this. And here's another floor where there's these lava dudes waiting for you over here. And those lava dudes, they have a melee attack as well, and their melee attack is one of the strongest attacks in the game. And getting hit by that melee attack is probably the saddest moment of your life, so at least a comfort is that while it's the saddest moment of your life, you'll probably die immediately afterwards, and therefore you won't have much to remember anyway. But after we kill most of the enemies, it starts spawning those guys, and that's kind of your cue to grab the serious damage and then run to the corners. Run to the corners, because the corners are the only safe place. Because there's 4 of those red chain gun people, and they hurt so much. And it's another place where it's very easy to just land next to them. And it's oh, well, cool then, I guess. I just got killed by an enemy I couldn't see that was underneath me. That's neat. Thanks, game. But fortunately, that was probably one of the hardest parts of this particular battle. From this point on, it should go a little bit smoother. I'm only a little bit worried about the fact that there are still some clear skeletons coming up. But I'm just going to take care of these guys until they start spawning. Because there's quite a lot of them. And right now, they are the only ones that spawn. So you're pretty safe just standing in the corner over here. As long as you just keep attacking. And that's your cue for, oh crap, more enemies. And they spawn right there. It's actually, this is pretty much the part where I would recommend starting to use the laser gun. I kind of wouldn't recommend using it anywhere else because you, barely have enough ammo to kill all the clear skeletons like this, I think. I hope. But there are a lot of them, and our health isn't looking too great. There are a lot of health power-ups, but it's really hard to see. This is, again, an area where it's foggy, and I don't think the fog is nearly as thick in the HD remake. I might be super wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure it's just a lot easier to see in that version. And it's just a bit easier to survive. But just keep it up for a while. I think any minute now we should be able to continue. You might be able to hear one of those red demon dudes behind the wall. What the hell? Where'd he come from? There we go. And that destroyed the wall. That's basically your cue for it's all over now. You can finally rest in peace, knowing that all is good. I would sort of recommend actually being next to this part when you can, with the large light coming out of the wall, because it's kind of tedious to try and take care of this guy while you're still fighting clear skeletons. And this makes it just a little bit more manageable. Because if you're standing on the other side, it can be very difficult to actually see what is actually attacking you. But the moment you actually kill him, it does spawn a whole bunch more of them. Which is something to be wary of, because it can hurt rather a lot when you're already fighting clear skeletons and then 6 more spawn to try and hurt you even more. But that's that, and we can move on. And all in all, that could have gone a lot worse. So I'm pretty happy about the fact that we're not actually entirely dead for a change. Now, if we try to pick this up, it spawns green people. But fortunately, green people are very confused when it comes to small corridors, and they just sort of hit the ceiling of the entrance. So just kill them. Oh, they actually damaged me for 1 armor. That's sort of impressive. But there's an ammo pack over here, and we can move on in this direction. I'm actually going to grab that armor over there. I want my 100 armor, just for the sake of it. And this leads us to a great place. This is not very hard, but it can be a bit annoying if the enemies don't cooperate. So the moment you try to pick up that health, the floor breaks. Sometimes you'll take damage. I'm not really sure why. I'm not really sure how that works either, but try to just land on this platform and you'll pretty much just be safe, to be honest. Kill that guy. And if you want, you can just sort of lob grenades like this, and things will eventually just sort of explode. Because everything is currently waiting there. And the moment you kill basically everything, it starts opening up the extra areas over here, leading to the remaining enemies coming out and hurting oh so much. Fortunately, there is a health power-up waiting for us pretty close to where we are. Don't hit me. Thanks. Sadly, however, there is also a red biomechanoid waiting for us. Oh boy, that's bad. Decided to waste some cannonballs there because, oh boy, my health is pretty dramatic right now, but we survived, sort of. We didn't die, and that's what matters. That's just the thing we gotta keep in mind. Good God, that one a little bit awful, but yeah, didn't die. All is well. I'm actually wondering if that health power-up's still there or if I picked it up. I'm not actually sure. Ah, I didn't. Cool. And I missed it, which is pretty great, but I'll just fall down again. I kind of want the extra health. 72, not quite as good as 100. And wow, I jumped really high for some reason. And I'm making jumping sounds even though I'm not pressing the jump button. Not gonna question it, it's just Serious Sam, it's being magical.